Okay, I'm going to review this function generator off of AliExpress that I picked up. Super cheap, 23.56 Canadian. I think with shipping I was looking at around $40 Canadian. It's probably like 25 or 30 US. It claims to be 0.01 Hertz to 500 kilohertz signal source module. Less than 1% sine wave distortion at less than 1 kilohertz. Less than 0.5% above 1 kilohertz. 15 diverse waveforms, 10 volt DC offset with shutdown function. The reviews are pretty good. Let's get on with it. Get my oscilloscope fired up. And this is what we're looking at. FG100 DDS function generator. Currently got it set on sine wave function with a 100 kilohertz frequency. On the bottom we have a power button, a mode selector which just changes the wave type. A cursor allows us to move from one position to another in R values. The plus and minus to increase or decrease within those columns. It's got a run stop button. There's the filter and the DC offset. And we have our output and we have our power input. And I'm currently running this off of 5 volts off of my laptop. So I'm going to pull this out of view. But first off though, we can see that we've got a 100 kilohertz sine wave being generated based on the setting I currently have it on. What I'm going to do for the rest of this video is I'm going to take the controller, that is the unit itself, out of frame and just cycle through and explain what I'm doing as I do it. So let's take this sine wave and see what it looks like when we start increasing the frequency. 200 kilohertz. 300 kilohertz, 400 kilohertz, 500 kilohertz, 600 kilohertz, 700 kilohertz. We're getting a little bit of distortion in that wave, not much. And we try to go to 8 and it doesn't go. So our limit is 700 kilohertz. I think in the ad it says 500 kilohertz. Let's move to a different mode. We're going to a square wave. Now I found the square wave does not come out very well at the higher frequencies, and I'll show you that by first starting off with 100 kilohertz square wave. There's 100 kilohertz. We'll cycle that up a bit just so you can see. 200 kilohertz, 300 kilohertz, 400 kilohertz. Now, there's a lot of distortion in there. Getting that extra peak down to the trough. But when we get into the lower ranges, I'm going to go down into the 90 kilohertz. So 90 kilohertz. And we'll run that in a square wave. And you can see you've got that little peak at the tail end of the square wave. As I had before, here's our 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. So 20, it's a pretty clean square wave. And if we go below that, 10, and below that they're nice and clean as well. So let's move to triangle wave. That's at the 10 kilohertz. I'm going to bring that all the way up to 90. Got a little bit of a problem on the ramp up and down. They're curved rather than straight. And if we go up over 90, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 500 starting to look a little bit more like a sine wave. 600, 7, 8. It plateaus at 7. So that was useful up to about 500. It's a sawtooth. 100 kilohertz, 200 kilohertz, 300 kilohertz. If we get down below 100 kilohertz, these look a little bit better. Here's 90 kilohertz, 80 kilohertz, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, and at 10 kilohertz it's pretty clean looking. Reverse sawtooth, yeah, I'll skip that. ECG, yeah, it doesn't work at 700 as I recall, that's right. 600, 500. Here we go. Now we're down at 200 and we're getting a proper wave. 100. Overlapping waves there. Go down a little lower yet. 90,000. Okay, now we're looking good. 80,000. 70,000. 60,000, etc. And what do we have next? We've got duty 10, duty 20, duty 30, and duty 40. And I think these are supposed to be square waves. Here we're at 60,000 on a duty 10, 50,000, 40,000, 30, 20, 10. So at about 10,000, 10 kilohertz, it looks pretty much like a square wave. And I think the duty 20 and 30 and 40 are a little bit better, if I recall. Skip all the way to the duty 40. There's the duty 40 at 10 kilohertz, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and it's getting a little bit rough, and you've got a bit of a tail in that trough. 80, 90 kilohertz, and really above about 90, I'm not sure how good this would be. I'm not going to carry it on. Running out of time here. There's sync wave, half wave. The half waves are pretty good up into about the 200,000 range, if I recall. Let me just quickly check that. 190K. And if we go to the full wave, it's about the same behavior. Let's go up. It's 290, 390. Oops. This is 290, 390, 490, 590, 690, 790. There's Express. That's at 100 kilohertz. Express Decay. Lorenz. 100K. Gaussian. And noise. Then back to sine. And I think to keep this under the 15 minutes, I'm going to have to stop it there. All around for $25 Canadian, this is a pretty darn good deal. Hope this helped anybody out that's considering buying it. Thanks for watching.